that you're here. Thank you for setting your time aside to talk to the girls today, to join us in this meeting. So as it is every day, or as we take it to as our order, to invite the president to briefly take us through what Uganda Gala Club is, and then I will call upon our guests to begin their speeches, to talk to the girls, to talk about the theme for today, so that we get this all exhausted in time. Thank you so much. Our President Immaculate, I tell the people about the club briefly, because we do not have so much speakers that have a lot to tell us. Thank you.
Yeah, all right, thank you so much. Dear Communications Officer, we really appreciate and recognize you and your commitment to this club. You're a role model to many and an icon. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. Distinguished guests, officials that have supported us. My name is Immaculate, Uganda Gala Club Praise, and still Mirinda Misambisha. I'm really happy that you have come to this far, and the girls are really doing it better despite of other challenges. This is the platform that was initiated by Focus Forum to help a girl child realize their potential through creating them a platform on where they are going to showcase and prove to the world that they are no longer limited to a girl can do than a man can do. And this is also how the girl child to realize.
Excuse me, sorry for interruption. Not okay. Your network is
listening.
Yeah, we're trying, but we're struggling.
I had someone. Okay. I was still telling you that she's a platform where girls are showcasing their potentiality and ability to be independent, not dependent from other people. So Uganda Gala Club are dear guests and other people that have just attended, those that don't have the club. Uganda Gala Club, the platform that encourages a girl to come.
Immaculate.
Oh my God, I don't know if it is my network that is so poor.
Yeah, it's your network. You're going to help mute your video, so maybe you can. Yeah, you can mute your video.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Praise. Am I now audible enough?
Now you are.
Sorry for interruption, people. I think my video was disrupting me, but now I'm back in full swing. Our dear chief guests, my name is Inamaswe Immaculate, President Uganda Gala Club, and also Mirinda Misambisha Uganda, that is still in the seat. As I've been requested to briefly talk about the club, to those that don't know it, Uganda Gala Club is an initiation of Focus Youth Forum, meaning Focus Youth Forum is behind this. It is pushing us to where we are right now. And Uganda Gala Club has got a vision, mission, and objectives. So Uganda Gala Club is a platform where a girl child expresses and shows her capability and the potential as far as the development of a nation is concerned. Uganda Gala Club has tried all its best in its capacity to see that a girl child moves from one level to another in terms of social life, confidentiality building, and mentorship. And in that, we've got different departments. We have department for creation. That is where we have artisan, poetry, compositions, and others. Then we've got the entrepreneurship department. This is where our girls are coming up on board to showcase what they have as in creating a dependent life, because it is under entrepreneurship that a girl child is able to earn something for a living. So in that, they've come up with different ideas, different handworks, because every Thursday we have a platform on WhatsApp, Facebook, and Twitter where girls showcase what they have. For example, those that make cakes, that is under entrepreneurship department. Those that make bracelets, and I'm so happy that our communications officer is leading it. Those that make shoes, crafts, those that make different things concerning entrepreneurship. And they've really made it, and we've connected from one client to another, since we are also becoming customers for ourselves. And you really see that Uganda Gala Club is really doing it better, because if someone is just seated home adamantly having nothing that is occupying them, they've learned from their fellow girls under UGC that they also have the potential to start with just a little capital, a little amount of money they have, to push the thing further. So that is the second department. Then we have public speaking, where I and my vice and my communications officer plus other outstanding ladies are coming up to tell girls that you can really make it through speech, confidence. We are coming out as a club to be the voice to the voiceless. So I'm so happy that Uganda Gala Club has made it, and those that have heard of it really can testify. Our dear chief guests that don't have much information about the club, we've also gotten the environmental department. We did not say that specific people join this, but it is everyone's role under Uganda Gala Club to come up and make sure that the environment is really protected very well, because it holds us. The environment consists of us, and if it is really not safe, we are not doing any good to ourselves. So we opted to protect our environment so that our lives are real better, and whatever we are running under the environment is successfully achieved. And in the achievements that we've made, we've prepared talk shows, WhatsApp groups, Twitter, everywhere, all media platforms where the club is really communicating to girls, communicating and doing mentorship. And you see, during this Zoom meeting, girls have not been able to attend from the very start up to the end, because most of them are unemployed, they are school goers, they are vacancies. So you really see that they haven't got mob resources, but the little that they have, they try to invest in themselves so that they learn something to take them to another level. So dear chief guests and the entire family of Uganda Gala Club, that is the far we have moved, because we've got talk shows on different media platforms, for example, radios and TVs. I've also arranged a campaign basing on the news that were alarming in the entire nation of Uganda, and Bara being ranked the second with 7% of victims of HIV, stroke, AIDS, excuse me. We've come up as Uganda Gala Club, since we look at a girl child being the most vulnerable to the disease, because we don't believe in ourselves much. So we've come up with a campaign entitled "Prevention is Better Than Cure," to motivate these girls that you can still work out on something as an individual to save the entire generation. So if you come out, you control yourself from acquiring the disease, you can do a good input to the country and also spreading the message. In that, we have attended different talk shows on UBC West, Grace Radio, TV West, and Radio West, and we are still working up to see that the 90 days campaign really becomes a success. And in that, we've considered political leaders, religious leaders, and some other companies that have made it. So dear team, the family, our chief guests, that is how Uganda Gala Club has gone. And I'm sure it has done a good to a girl child, and it is real fighting its level best to make a concrete foundation for a girl child's future. Thank you so much. Allow me stop there because of time. I cannot speak because I'm just giving an overview of the club, but we welcome your chief guest. Thank you so much for making Uganda Gala Club your priority today, and I wish you the best. I believe, girls, you're going to earn a lot from this. Thank you so much. I give back the mic to our communications officer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Immaculate, our president, Uganda Gala Club. It was really a nice overview about the club. So at this particular time, I don't really think I have so much to add about that. More is going to be said after we have heard from our guests. So, as you all know, as the club, we always have meetings at the end of every month and in the middle. So today this was a special meeting for the Independence Day. We all know Uganda is making 29 years of independence. So we had to get this time and use it profitably. Today's topic is building economic independence among young generation. Today specifically, I want you girls to listen in because as you well know, every person we host here is an icon. They have rich ideas they're going to share with us, and we so much need the ideas. Like I tell you every day, have a pen with you and somewhere to note, because you're not going to have everything in your head at the end of the day. But if you take notes, it is going to help you. You can revise all the time. You can go back to your note and read through. So those who aren't here at the time I introduced the guests, once again I am going to introduce as I welcome them. Before I do that, our executive director and founder, our executive director and advisor, Focus Youth Forum and Uganda Gala Club, Mr. Bernard Keikara, is in the meeting, and we are really grateful that he is. So our today's guests, we have Mr. Otolo Cedric, co-founder, director at Kakebe Technologies Limited. We have Mr. Nicholas Valondemu of NTF Consult and NTF Mobility, whose position is Demand Creation Partner Technologies Limited. We're also glad to have Mr. Nyanzi Samuel, Executive Director, Rural Community in Development. So as we go into today's topic, I'm ask our first speaker, who is going to be Mr. Samuel Nyanzi, to take us through today's what he has for us today. We are really grateful that he's here. Mr. Nyanzi, I ask that you unmute and talk to the girls.
Yeah, thank you very much, moderator. This is a very good opportunity. It's a rare opportunity for me. As everybody has heard, I'm Nyanzi Samuel. I'm based in Mitiana, and I've been working with young people. Personally, I'm just not a young man. I'm really a very old person, but I enjoy interacting. I enjoy working with young people. But also, I have a new thinking because many people, I think some of you know that the age is just number. So I'm looking at that as age is just number. But I'm really very, very much excited to be part of the guests in this association, Girls Up. First of all, I want to thank the president for really being able to take us through your activities or your department. Me to address this congregation. So I would want the theme independence among the young generation. I think that is really something. When I was asked to really present, I was just thinking, how am I going to really talk up to these young people so that they can become independent? First of all, as I said, I'm Nyan Samuel. I work with rural community and development. From Kampala towards the western Uganda, that is towards Foto. And we have been there for quite some time because we started in 1994, or before many of you were actually born. And our core business has been really training people, training young people in organic farming. Organic farming is a type of farming where you actually grow grow crops and look after animals using locally available materials. That is one way of how to really be able to make people independent. Farming using local materials when you are not depending on other people. But apart from training these people, I've been also engaged. We have started a small institution called Lucid Organic Agriculture Training College, whereby we train young people also for formally in certificate and diploma. But we have another new we also skill in different aspects. We skill people, especially in agro processing, and we are collaborating with several organizations, including Netherlands Embassy, PSFU, but also other donor agencies. So we are doing a lot of work in skilling of young people. So as I said, to activities. Maybe before I actually go into the topic of today, I want to really tell you, look at your. I've seen the department for entrepreneurship, and when the president has been really talking about entrepreneurship, I saw an opportunity, a very big opportunity for really the members of this group to be able to interact with our organization. First of all, as I said, we have a skilling program, and this skilling program is being supported by the Netherlands Embassy, is also being supported by ABC. And in this training program, we do a lot of value addition, food processing and value addition. So we train young people how to actually add value to virtually each and every crop which you can think of. We train people how to make avocado oil. Avocado oil is one of the best oils for cosmetics industry, but also it's very good for skin, it's good for the hair. So you can be able to have your avocado instead of just selling the avocado or eating the avocado. We are able to train young people, and they get oil out of avocado oil, From that on, they can make different cosmetic products. We train people of how to make different juices, how to make different wine, so we can train people in different things. This is an opportunity. And what I could even say, the biggest opportunity is, as we talk now, we have an ongoing project whereby PSFU and RC under the Netherlands Embassy have a project whereby you have an opportunity to really actually get people to come, and then they are able to actually get these skills, and when they come back, then your entrepreneurship department will be really improved. When you talk about environment, we are really champions in environment. Maybe what I didn't say, though I'm the executive director of Rural Community and Development, RUCID, but also I have another big responsibility in the environmental sector because I'm the chairman of the organic movement of Uganda. So all the organic farmers in this country, I'm the chairman of that organization. But also I have another responsibility whereby I'm one of the Buganda Luchiko member. So I sit on the Buganda Luchiko. So people, I don't call myself OHT, but people, when they are in Mango circles, OHT Wanyanzi. So you see, leaving that alone, I want you to see the theme, building economic independence among the young generation. This is something which we cannot think about it and talk about it on the surface. When you see the way we have been really undergoing our education system, I'm sorry, I'll just say my mind, but you find in the education system, the knowledge we get is as if we are cramming. Somebody tells us what they know, and then we copy what they know, we cram what they know, and when we are being examined, we are being examined of what somebody knows. If you bring in your own knowledge, then you've failed. So if we have to get independence in our young people, but I think generally, we should be given an opportunity to try out, to think, to observe, and to innovate in whatever we are going to do. Thinking, innovation should come from within us. So young people should be given an opportunity to try out, but what the elders should do is to encourage them. It's appreciation. So young people must be given an opportunity, but I think the opportunity is there, but they should be given an opportunity really to start thinking and exploring and using what they want to have. So that's very, very important to just see that the minds of the young people have become independent. And when you talk about economic independence, Uganda is an agricultural country. And if you see what is actually happening in this country, you do see that if we were using all the resources we actually have, we would be one of the richest countries in the country, in the world. Because when you see actually what we have, what do people call weeds, for example? All the weeds which you see around when you're driving around, when you're walking around, when you're in your garden, each of them has very, very, very high value. But now, have people really looked at these weeds and tried to see how can we transform these weeds so that we can get value out of them? Many people think, I don't have money to start a business, but then you don't need money to start a business. I'll give you a very simple example. You know, blackjack. Blackjack, the Uganda call it sere, Biden Pilosa. Blackjack was introduced in Uganda. Some people don't know it. But when the colonials were introducing coffee Together with the coffee, they introduced blackjack. And blackjack was introduced as an economic product. It was brought as a product to be sold because they said coffee takes years to mature, but blackjack takes a few months. So that could be a product. But nobody showed them the importance of blackjack. So for us, we call it blackjack. We call it weed, and people fight it. But I am very sure some of you have seen some people at the new tax park selling blackjack tea, amajani gasere. I think they've seen it. But if you see that, how many young people have really gone ahead to Google and really understand the value of blackjack? And if you Google and see the value of blackjack, how many young people have really gone out to commercialize that in the entrepreneurship department? How many people have gone ahead to actually try to see that they commercialize blackjack? But blackjack is also around. You don't need to buy it. You need just to go into your parents' garden or somewhere and pick blackjack. Then you dry it in the recommended way, pack it in the recommended way, you get your money. There's so many weeds. These days when I'm moving in Kampala, I see a variety of weeds being spread on the roadside. Why say there, Kalerwe, you see, and also I think in some parts of Kampala. But how many of those young people have really gone ahead to see that how do we put this on the next level? For example, when you say bombo, I don't know bombo, some people call them umbiris and what have you and what have you. How many people have really looked at those local herbs and tried to commercialize them? And those are the issues. If you have to make ourselves to have economic independence in the new generation, we must first of all look at what is available in our localities and how do we add value and how do we promote them and how do we put them in the market. And this is very, very, very critical. If we are not able to use our local available materials, locally available technologies, locally available resources, we won't be able to become really to be independent. So independence starts from ourselves, being able to think as young people, being able, some people think, innovation is something very difficult. It's not. Innovation is you sitting down, try to think, how do I solve a particular problem? I can say COVID has been really has done so much. But for those people who actually see opportunities where they are not there, I think people have actually got, I think they've gone ahead. Look at COVID. Where was Professor? Where was Professor before COVID came? When COVID came, he started getting herbs and what have you. Now we have COVIDX. COVIDX is going to make our country very, very, but also very, very much known because somebody started. If you say you are going to, for example, to make herbal tea, we are looking at herbal teas. If you go to many countries, developed countries, today they take what we call herbal teas. But when you hear of herbal teas, what is herbal tea? Herbal tea is just mujaja. You know mujaja. Herbal tea is these different herbs you see, guava leaves, rosemary, and so many other weeds. Just processing them in the proper way, then you get a product. Depending on people from other countries. We want to, if we are to gain that economic independence as the new generation, let's come back, try to put value on whatever we have. As I said, I have value in everything. Last year, I was looking at coffee value chain. Then I said, okay, when you look at coffee berries, coffee, the ripe coffee, when you test it, the coffee is actually tasty. So it's a fruit. The coffee berry is a fruit. And then from there, I asked myself, what is juice? Juice is any liquid extracted from a crop, which is not fermented, but can ferment. Then I said, now I can make juice out of coffee. When I made juice out of coffee, I said, now what is wine? Wine is fermented juice. In a I got fermented them, and I got wine. When I was actually calculating, I found out that if somebody sold coffee beans, he gets a tenth of the value of the coffee. The 9 part of the value of coffee is lost in coffee husks. Because locally here, when I make my coffee, my wine, buy local wine, a bottle of 750 mils, I'm selling at 20,000. But this is because I'm not an entrepreneur like you. If I was like you, I would be selling much time. I think we must make independent ourselves. We must be independent, but also we must use all the locally available resources to be able to get what we want and put value on them. And lastly, I think we really need to value ourselves. So they didn't give me the time, but I think for now, let me stop here. But I want for actually listening, but also giving me this. And as I say, Rusid, we are very much willing to actually work with you. We are very much willing to skill your people, give them the opportunities. The good thing is, at the moment, we have people who actually can support, be able to come here and get more skill. Thank you very much. And yeah, for now, I submit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nyanzi. We are really happy. Hope everyone was noting down, because the information he was giving is really, really important, especially in the Uganda we are in, whose background is like the backbone is farming. Like everything we do majorly depends on farming. So if everyone was listening and carefully, this was so much important information. So Mr. Nyans is going to be called upon again as he winds up. As for now, we are going to be hearing from Mr. Cedric. Mr. Cedric, please, you unmute yourself. Thank you.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, happy independence to everyone. And be very honored to be here today and then be able to share a few things with all of you. I am called Cedric Otola, and I'm from, right now I'm in Lira. I'm a Langi. I reside in Lira. That's where I was born and I grew up. And maybe just a little background. I'm still a student. I'm a software engineering student, but also like with the purpose of this meeting today, I am a software engineer professionally, but then I'm much involved in leadership of different clubs and organizations, and also for just to get to know how maybe things are moving on my side and then this side of Lira, especially in Lango sub-region. I lead a youth organization called the Seven Seeds, which gracefully I'm the CEO of it. And then also I have a charity organization that I'm pertaining. It's called Journey International. We look at trying to reach out to people who have physical disabilities and try to help them in one way or the other. And the biggest thing that I'm going to talk about today is, first of all, I heard about the Girl Hub Club last year, I guess. I was scrolling on Facebook and looking at different organizations that are available. And then when I saw a team of beautiful girls standing with their white t-shirts with their logo, I was like, I think I see a lot of good things the Lord is doing in the likes of different girls. So I picked up interest to know more about it. And I'm happy that, hi Tarisha, are you on this call? Tarisha, would be able to connect with her and then, yeah, get to know more. So I'm 23 years old. I made 23 and my birthday is very soon, in January actually. I'll be making 24. And I have a company, it's called Kakebe Technologies Limited. It's a technology-based company. As I said, I'm doing software engineering in my field of expertise. And then talking about the discussion topic for today about independence as young. And I so much based on facts of my life, how I've been through things, how I've been able to see a few things, and how I've been able to overcome them. The first thing that I would want to share to all of us in being independent, there is one thing that we as young people, we always have in our mind that if we want to start up a business, you want to start up a club, you want to start up an organization and many different things, we always value that you need to have the money. But on my side, in 2018, I'm someone who didn't complete senior six. I didn't go to senior six because I had issues when I was in senior five. I didn't pass very well. And so I couldn't continue with senior six. And it was quite hard. It was quite stressing for me. And being someone who was at the top of class during high school, and then moving to, during like O level and then moving to A level, things failed. And I asked God so many questions. Why did this have to be me? I've been, this bright boy, I've been this. And so it all came back to me with like, God has different plans for us. You might be someone who has stopped in maybe senior 4 or P7 or senior 5, and you have no one to pay for your school. I am here today to testify and say that right now, I'm happy. I feel okay because I don't regret the past. I don't regret what happened to me in the past because in 2018, when I was not in school, trying to question God with a lot of questions, why they didn't promote me to the next class that I deserved to go to the next class. And God spoke to me and just told me that He would create streams of living waters to flow in the desert. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. So why am I saying this? So during that time, when I was depressed, I was broken, things were not right on my side. I felt everyone was turning against me. That was when the inspiration came in my heart that what can I create in this moment that I'm home, I'm alone, I'm just with mom. Everyone is at school. I'm planning to see what's the way forward. That's when I came up with my first book. I wrote a book when I was 19, and it was something very small to me. I looked at it as being like just a student, but then it was able to create a lot of impact. And when you realize that I sold more than 1,000 copies to different students, and that was a lot of inspiration to them. Then we think of how much do we have in our account to start up different things. And that has never been something that I put in my mind at the first place. The first thing that you will always have to think about is, what is the plan? What is the vision that you have behind everything that you want to achieve? Like when we started the AND organization way back in 2018, and it was quite hard, but then we had a very clear vision, no single money, and we ran the organization for 2 years on our pocket money, trying to borrow money from friends. But right now I'm happy and I say that we're somewhere, we're moving somewhere. So the first point I want to discuss about is seize your moments. As a young girl, as someone who's at school, someone who's trying to achieve something. If you have all watched this movie called Coco, Coco is a movie that really speaks a lot in my life. And the aspect of seizing your moments has always been something that I've longed. During my years in O level, we had so many opportunities at school to learn different things, electronics, carpentry, catering, tailoring, and a lot of students just took it for granted. But me, I was like, I'm going to learn whatever I can learn at this time because at some point in the future, it's going to help me. And right now, if you bring a chair to me, I can be able to maybe repair a broken chair. I can make you a small chair. If you take me to the apiary, I can harvest honey. I can teach you on how best you can keep honey. You can take care of the bees. If you take me to the kitchen, that's no deal, no problem. I'm sure that I can cook better than most of you here on this meeting because I learned how to to grasp the opportunity, the moments that comes around, and seize it and make sure that it becomes something good in my life. And then basing on that, I drew up the passion to make sure that everyone around me should be like a gift that God has given to me. Because when you plant a tree and a tree grows, it bears fruits, and the fruits is the gift that a tree gives to you. And these fruits are not eaten by the trees, but are consumed by us. And so in the same way as people who are in leadership, people who are in different positions, as in school, you're done with school, you're seeing what is the next thing, the people around our life will always matter on how God bless us in many different aspects. So about seizing our moments, let's try to grasp each and every opportunity that comes around and use it well. And, another thing I would love to share is you should have a vision in everything that you do. Right now, running a company, Lira, it's the first online shopping company in northern, actually not in northern Uganda, there's some other companies. Then we had the idea when we were in, I think that was last year in March, when COVID came up, and I was in my third semester, so I had to move back home, and I was like, what am I going to do? So the aspect of innovation and creativity that Samuel was talked about is what needs to drive us as young people. So when I met my friend, when I was listening to this book written by Robert, Rich Dad Poor Dad, it inspired me a lot of what can I do with the little things that I have. I don't have the money, but I have my laptop. What can I do with this? So we came with the idea to open up a business, an online shopping company, whereby someone can be able to shop online and then these products are delivered to them. But we had no money. So for the first, from March to around June, we were still working on our project. And now when we were ready to go to the market, we ran out of storage, online storage, we had 2 GB, our system was down, the clients were complaining. Only clients we had were our friends. And these friends we had, they never ordered for anything online. They just kept saying, oh, it's a good thing, it's a good thing. So it reached a point when I shared the idea that I had with someone, and I say, you know what? I came up with an innovation to do an e-commerce platform to boost up online shopping since it's lockdown. But the problem we have right now is I don't have the money. I bought the system, we set up with everything, but we have run out of online storage, so we can't upload any more product. And he told me, I love the innovation. I love what you're thinking. I'm going to give you 1 million to see that you progress. And now one thing that came into my mind, and one thing I want you to understand, if you have the passion to start up something, it's going to be very hard, even for people to come in your life and help you. Because once someone sees the purpose, once someone sees that Cedric can do this, they will see a reason to why to join you in. So when we started, we stayed crazy months that no one ordered for anything on my platform. Only one person ordered for toothpaste, which was 1,500. And we delivered it for free. We delivered it for free because we were excited, we were happy. We were like, wow, this thing is working. So, and this is where persistence and patience comes in business, in anything that you're doing. And then this year, we wanted even to launch last year without money or anything, just to do social media launch. And luckily, we were able to raise 1 million to do the launch. So when we set up the 1 million, the day of the launch, we canceled it. Our system failed working on the day of the launch. We canceled the launch. We told the RDC that there's no more launch. We told all our guests that we are not ready. So come this year. Right now, if you walk into Lira City, if you walk into the city, the first thing maybe you'll hear about any online shopping is Kakebe. Because we struggled, and as I speak right now, today we had about 50 orders so far, just for independence, and which is a really good progress. And why am I saying this? Sometimes we are locked up in our environment because the people who surround us don't give us the opportunity to grow or to think deeper on what we can do with our life, we can do with everything that resolves around us. And now, looking at me right now, as I'm still a student. I'm finishing my papers in December and graduating in December. But when you look at me right now, you wouldn't think it's me who failed to finish senior six way back in 2018 and seated and then inspiring so many people and being an icon for people that never, I'd never imagined that they would listen to me. And this is the same thing that I would love all of us to really embrace. When you stand up to do something that you love and something that you're passionate about, even the people that hate you will come to appreciate you. And it so happened that last year, in January last year, before COVID came up, I was at school and trying to see what can I do on my free time in school? What can I do to change my life, to transform a few things? And I came with the idea, since someone always called me and asked me that, said, how do you handle this? How do you do this? How do you easily relate to people? I was like, can I just put my life down in writing? So I wrote my second book. It's called Building Great Character. And then after that, I saw different opportunities. I didn't have the money. When I was in the process, they stole my laptop in Kampala with I'd finished working on the book. My laptop was stolen and I still had the vision. And I was like, I am not going to give up. I'm going to rewrite the book afresh. So I started. And then there are also other young people that we, leading back this side that embraced. They were like, we can also do something. I know most of you know Agatha. And these are people that they have seen the opportunity. They don't have the money, but they have the talent to start up something. So I learned that and I learned a lesson. And I believe that with time, right, as long as you trust in God, as long as you believe in Him, what happened to us maybe in the subsequent years or in the past years can never be like a real definition of everything that God has aligned for us in front of us. So then another thing is I want to really emphasize is trusting in God in every little things we do. Sometimes you feel, very okay, very fresh when we're doing many things and we feel like there is no problem, but we tend to leave behind the person that we need to trust because we really don't know what the future holds, but we have the idea, we have the belief, and we know He will hold the future. In so many things I've seen, I lost my parents when I was very little, and growing up as an orphan and without your parents, it's been not really easy on my side. But then God was still lucky. I was still blessed enough for God to make someone who doesn't know me to pay my fees too. My fees right from primary 2 up to where I am right now. And then looking at where I came up from and what happened in my life and all these years and thinking of where would I be just if not because of the love of God? Where would I be if it's not because of His love upon my life? And His love upon our life just doesn't come out of the blue. You need to love Him. And if you want to see that God blesses people, that's why we see a lot of people complain that God doesn't listen to my prayer. Every time I pray, God doesn't listen to me. But no, you are taking your time to with the belief and with trusting God, with living right with the people around me, treating the people next to our life creates a lot of difference. It's made me to be in circumstances that I have never imagined, to be in places I'd never imagined, to travel to countries that I never thought of. And this is just because if you love who you are and understand what you can do to create impact in the lives of other people, you can do a lot. As I wind up, I'll talk about one specific thing that I wrote it down in my book. It says that watch out for the environment around you. And as Girl Hub, you want to be, grow up something that develops you to have that dependency, to be able to come up with something that the community will value. You need to really be careful of the person that sits next to you. Because if you are, for example, one person one time said, if you take a bean seed and then you put it in a tiled bathroom, it'll stay there for 50 years without germinating. But take a bean seed and just throw it out in the bush. Just come after 4 days. Here comes the future. what is it supposed to mean? The environment we stay in will really affect us. If you stay in a positive environment, you'll get a positive outcome. If you stay in a negative one, you'll get a negative outcome. And always the people around us determines a lot. Always when I talk about this, people who know me closely, they ask me questions. Cedric, you say, we should determine the people who stays around our life, but you associate with anyone, respective of maybe who they are, like what they do. And I told them simply, it's like, once you get close to someone, you need to understand what is the purpose and what's the vision. And then if you like the wind that is blown in any direction, it is not good. So, and then the last thing I would love to say is there is a lot of room for us to be creative and to be innovative in every little thing that we do. Because if you put yourself out to be an innovative person, the community around you will look for you, even if you're not there. They'll search for you, they'll try to find you, and you won't miss the place you've lived in. In fact, the place you lived in will miss you because of the value that you attach to your life. And as Cedric, I have seen quite a number of people. I've interacted with a few people, with different people in my age brackets, and I know what challenges we face. And I pretty know how can some of these challenges be overcome. So make yourself personal value. And I love the Girl Hub. It has a very good vision. And thanks so much, the president. And if you make yourself a personal value and touch a lot of good things about you, people will come look for you. Even if someone hates you, no matter what person you've done to them, but if you have something special in your life, always move forward. And lastly, sorry, let me say lastly, oh, be able to start keep us and keep us.
And as people that are in your age bracket, I feel like this moves a person even more. Like seeing a person of around your age or in your age bracket trying to tell you something that maybe you might be going through right now, or maybe you might face, is really a thing that one will listen to. Like youth to youth is one strong thing that I have come to realize in our generation. Like when you hear something from a person who is around your age, we are easily influenced by such. So I feel like whoever is going to, or whoever has a vision, of course, everyone has a vision that is going to take them somewhere. And we have seen from you, we have heard from you, from your story. That story must keep someone going, must let one know that things change. We don't have to stick to the past. The past does not define anything. We can keep on, like we cannot keep giving up, because every time we give up, I think our life also gives up at some point. So if you keep going, if you encourage yourself, if you tell yourself you can make it, you can. Because hearing from your Kakebe project, from the beginning is a sad story, but it is now a promising one. Like it is a good one. If you have 50 orders for just a day, wow, that is really an amazing thing. Thank you so much for sharing. There's someone who was asking about where they can get your book, or if it is in software.
Yeah,
If they
so
can
I'm going to share the link. I'm sharing the link. If you want to get the link, I'm going to share the link where you can place it the order and get your kakebe. So I'm working on my own projects, and it's good that I'm selling my books on my platform. Isn't that beautiful? So Yeah, so I'll share the link. Yeah.
So good. Thank you so much. And talking of books, almost every meeting we have here with the mentors, they tell us about reading. So I urge you girls to read. Even when reading sometimes seems hard, you can begin with at least some verses a day. And with time, the addiction will come. Like you will want to read, I think, a book a day or just a week. So reading is, before we get our next speaker, I want to remind you all that Honorable Minister Victoria Sechitoreko is our club mentor. So normally he tells us people that I can mentor the girls. And this time around, he got us these wonderful ones, and we're really grateful. With also the help of our executive director and advisor, Focus Youth Forum and Uganda Gala Club, we are really trying to see that this club, that its vision is fulfilled. And with you and your support, we can normally tell the girls in the club that every girl in Uganda Gala is an ambassador for the club. You are an ambassador. You can change. You can talk to someone close to you. That person talks to the other. And at the end of the day, it is what we want. That is how we are going to achieve what we are set to as a club. So once again, thank you so much, Mr. Cedric Otolo. So we're going to be inviting our next speaker, who is Nicholas Walondem. Nicholas, please unmute yourself.
Okay, hello everyone. 2 minutes to midday here. I'll still say good morning and happy independence. My name is Nicholas Valondemu, and considering today's topic, which is building economic independence amongst the younger generation, that's something that we really I feel like every time we talk about this, we are actually not even doing enough. But before I get into that, I'd like to thank Samuel for your presentation that was so elaborate and very insightful. Then I also thank the speaker that just left the floor, Mr. Cedric. So innovative, so inspiring, and personally, I find your story so inspiring. Now, as I said, my name is Nicholas Fallon. I'm 24 years old, and considering today's topic, I'd like to start by the funny part about being the next speaker after amazing people have spoken is that for your earlier prepared speech, you keep canceling out a few things because the amazing minds that have spoken before you have actually touched most of those parts. But I would go ahead and discuss my part. What I understand as economic independence is basically a young person being able to attain the necessities of life or the wants of life, and still and however economic constraints, and these constraints can personally be supported by them. They don't have to depend on anyone else to attain this. And when we speak about this, it feels so futuristic and it feels so hard to achieve. But as I told you, I'm 24, and I'm going to explain to you what I would understand as the best way young people can achieve economic independence in 3 parts. And these 3 parts, I'm going to be referring to my life itself. I'll refer to my education and learning. Then I'll refer to my work environment. Now, we look at independence, and we look at the independence of men from women. We look about the independence of people from the employment schedules, we look at donors, we look at from the international markets that constrain their little economies. But today we look at the independence of basically economic independence of a young person, and how do you achieve that? Both speakers that spoke after me, before me, they emphasize the issue of, I'm going to call it self-branding, but they called it a representation of your value. How is your value represented in all this? Now, if and when we are looking for that economic independence, I would like to start by actually telling you that you don't have to look anywhere. You look at yourself, and that's the independence that you need. Now, what do I mean when I say look at yourself? I mean, you do the work on yourself, because it really starts with you. The independence here that you're looking for is completely being able to handle the purchases of the life-sustaining amenities that you need without anyone holding your hand or anyone helping you stand on that economic stance that you pull. Now, I'm going to continue by saying that one of the things that we look at as we are trying to better ourselves, first we look at connections. Now, for someone to attain independence, you don't wake up and attain that. However well-to-do your family is, however good the background is, you have to start somewhere. But the somewhere where you start, you are expected to leave that category, and at some time, which is the independence, that when you're starting out, you're building a brand that's you. You look at connections, you look at capital, you look at confidence, you look at competence, you look at learning, you look at capacity development. Now, for each of the things I've listed, there is nothing that can happen without you. So how do we start doing the work on ourselves? How do we start improving ourselves? Now, I told you that I'll be referring this discussion to my life, my education, and my work. Now, as the mediator Price said, I work at NFT Consult, and at NFT Consult, we are running a project called NFT Mobility. Now, I'll come to explain NFT Mobility, but then I'll first give you a lesson on me. I'm going to emphasize so much on working on ourselves. Before you go anywhere else, before you look for that job, how is your brand being reflected there? Because even when you think no one is looking, someone is not seeing the unique things that you do, the things that you do that are extra from the normal. And I'll get to this. Now, I'm working at a project, but when I came to NFT the very first time, I didn't even have a degree. I was a student at Macquarie, and I was doing social sciences. And when I got here, we were going to be interviewed. We were about 26 people. These interviews were all ran. I was actually the only person who didn't have a transcript from the university. Then we were called back for a training after that. But this training didn't mean that you had passed the interview or anything. Basically, people were observing our actions. When you pick water from a decanter, where do you drop the can? How do you greet hands? What's your eye contact like? How do you speak to people? Now, this is how we start working on ourselves. I was surprised. I was called back for a job in MasterCard. And at this point, I looked at the list of the other guys who interviewed with me, and they had the skill, they had the papers, they had the experience. I was coming out of university. I mean, I was a second-year student at the university. So always conduct has been a key thing for me. The way you look at a security guard at the gate, the handshake you give, so sad we can't do that anymore, but the handshake you give, the confidence with which you speak is key to growing you. This is what I called branding. This is a brand that you are building as a person. For every interaction that you make, for every phone call that you make, for every person that you insult, that's a brand that you're making. So people are going to have to single you out. I have to say, NFT is a human resource company, so it can contract someone to work in another company, but while they are managing you. I worked in MasterCard for about 1 month, and I was called back to NFT to be part of the permanent staff. And this is a human resource company. You can imagine how many CVs that they hold, but it's conduct at this point. It's a brand. How are you reporting? How do you address your superiors? How do you handle rejections? How it's a lot. Even the social media messages that you're sending, people are going to pick up on suit on what brand that you are broadcasting out there. So as I told you, when you are looking to be economically independent, you have to be dependent at first. And one of the sectors in which you're dependent is building connections. Now, building connection doesn't to be an entire life journey. You are going to build connections to get somewhere, and now people will want to build you as a connection. Now, we look at confidence. This sometime back, as I told you, I'll keep referring to the three parts of my life. Sometime back, um, if I tell you now that I've never had a break, what someone would call a holiday or a vacation from school, is in year 4. I went straight to working at a restaurant, and my dad made sure that I actually report. I didn't even know I needed it. Then when I finished my I went to Uganda Marks, which is currently an international training center, and they're also doing lab work in botany and ultra plant structure sciences. One of the smartest people I've known once told me that there is no kind of education or learning that you take that is useless at any point. However much you don't need to learn how to change a tire, you are going to need this skill.
Excuse
Now,
me, Nick.
yes.
Sorry for the interruption. I just want to recognize the presence of Honorable Minister Victoria Secretarial. I want to thank her for joining us today.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay,
You are
go on.
welcome, Honorable Minister. Now, yes, to continue, I've personally not had a holiday, I've not had a vacation, and for all the inter-school periods, I've had to learn something. So after my period at Uganda Marks, as I told you, this is all about branding. I was the only one retained to work on behalf of the company for other firms that needed consulting services. And by this time I was 17. So it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter. It's as Mr. Cedric mentioned it, it's the vision. When you have the vision, you are going to go through trash. People are going to treat you like you are nothing. But that small position that you hold, someone is watching at all times. And at some point, after they've made the observations, they are going to single you out for opportunities. I've now currently, Mr. Samuel talked a lot about agriculture. We talked value addition, and I was relating because these are things that I studied. And just like I told you, I'm right now doing demand creation, which is basically marketing and sales for the project that's NFT mobility. But I didn't study economics as direct as it is. I studied economics as part of my social sciences course. But here it's about, of course, the branding. As I said, you build a reputation, you are building a brand, and you highly have to protect it. Now, to continue, I'm going to refer to my workspace. Now, first, I would like to thank the GALAP initiative and their utilization of this platform to provide the voices to the girls and the communications that are going through this. Now, the part of my project is the part that becomes so relative to, of course, what I said is very, very important, but it comes so relative to the girls, the initiative, and the campaigns that are running on how to better themselves and how to seize opportunity, manage it, and get something out of it. Now that's the project that is NFT mobility. I'm going to give you a little brief about this because I'm sure for any girl, for any young woman on this call, this information will be very helpful. Now, NFT Mobility is a project that is funded by MasterCard under the under the supervision of Private Sector Foundation Uganda. What we do basically is we create sustainable employment for the young people in the ages of 18 and 35. These people can be both men and women, but our project model encourages us, or it stipulates that 70% of the beneficiaries in this project are women. That's why I'm emphasizing girls, young mothers, women. As long as you are not above 35 years, there's an opportunity here, and I will be sharing some contacts that you can follow through to see where you can benefit from these amenities. Now, still at the point of personal growth, recognizing opportunities in community is one of those. And through a platform like this, that's why I'm giving the thumbs up for the Gallup initiative for creating this. Now, for the project, we have several areas where we employ the young women. We have trainings, which are basically capacity building. And then after people have gone through the training, after people have gone through the employment, we are creating sustainability. And this gets back to our topic, which is economic independence. We give young men bikes, and after they've worked with us for 2 years, they get to keep the bike. We give them the entire card, and they now take full ownership of the bike. They can decide whether they step out or they come back and work with us for the next 2 years and still get another bike. We have training hubs in different league sets. So we're having our girls trained into that, and after your training, you get support. We have a partnership with Equity Bank. You get a loan that you pay back in installments, and this is up to 5 million for all the girls that go through this. Praise, I think there is an interruption in sound.
Yes, I'm really sorry. I have just muted her.
Okay.
You can carry on.
Okay, sorry about that. So yes, to go ahead, I would go back to my point. This is now the take home, guys. For everyone on this call, the very first part of creating economic independence for the young people is ensuring, and I repeat it, is ensuring that the value on which this young person has developed themselves. If you can find yourself a mentor, if you read, if you can take the online courses, because those are really, really many, and I have the links, I can share some of that information, but there is a lot to learn, because a person who is going to hire you knows other 20 people offhand that can do exactly what you do. Now they are looking at how best can you do this. Now, as I told you, you're going to work for someone before you become independent. But the period, the length of the period by which you have to be trumped over, work for people, let people run you over, is going to depend on how fast you develop the value that you attach to yourself as a brand. So let's improve ourselves. Let's read. Let's listen to innovation speakers. Let's have mentors, and let's be inspired by the other young people on the call. And personally, I'm very privileged to be part of this call. And I think for now, I'll be stopping and letting the discussions go on. Thank you for the platform. Thank you, Praise. Please take that back.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. I really did not know, but today, I think as Uganda Gallup, we have been blessed so much with a very intelligent speakers. Saying is just important to a girl. I feel like each and every word that is in the conversation we are having today is really. So I beg that everyone writes, note something from what these people are saying. So we are going to, I'm going to, like, okay, this is the time the chief advisor of Uganda Girl to close the meeting. Thank you so much. So at this time, I think I'm well. If you have a question, you could put your hand up, or you can send it in the chat, and then I'll read it out. Are there no questions? So we can move on to the agenda.
You see that you have a question.
Hello.
Yes.
My name and I've been glad part of this meeting. Well, my question goes to Nicholas. How that authority given to young ladies, those below 35 year age, and I would like to know how would they participate if they really wanted to be part of that move. That's my question.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think it is going to be better if a question is asked and answered rather than piling them all at once. Mr. Nicholas, do you mind?
I didn't get the name of the lady who asked the question, but NFT mobility is open. There are several options. There are several. There are several. I would say there are several areas that you can fit in. There are several trainings that are currently happening. There is a lot to partner, and this project is going nationwide. So I'll be sharing the contacts, and our offices are in Makerere Kavule. That's where the innovation hub is. That's where the trainings take place. But at this point, all I can share is the contact. You call the reception or the front desk, and you get all the information you require. And I'll also share some information via WhatsApp. So Praise will be passing this over. Thank you.
All right, Nicholas. Are any other question? If you have a question, please unmute yourself and ask. Someone asked in the chat before, and she was asking for the contact of, she was asking if you can share the contact of Mr. Nyanzi. Yes, so I think that is also important. Let me find it. Someone, I guess Mr. Nyanzi, I don't know if you're okay with your number being shared in the chat. Someone says, Mr. Samuel, kindly share your contact for further guidance. I think they want to tap in the opportunities you talked about. And some other and also asked the question going to Mr. to clarify more about, or to give more light about the opportunities available in Rusted.
I think, as I said, the opportunities available here. Currently, we are, as I said, currently we have a skilling program which is going on, which is taking place. And if in case you want to be part of the training, you can be able to, I'm going to share my number, and you can send a WhatsApp, and to be very easy for you to be part of this training or skilling opportunity. So, but I think now you have my number, you can share it. So those opportunities are there. But what I was having a question: how do these people who is together with me, these young ladies, become members of the Girl Up Association? Because when I heard of what you are doing is really very important, and I have some young people here who should never miss such opportunities.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Nyanzi. I'm going to share contact in the chat list for whoever is willing to tap into the opportunities. For one to join Uganda Gala Club, I'm also going to share my contact in the chat list. And apart from that, we have a link we're going to share, and that link is which one follows to outline their information. That is where one is asked about their names, how they got to know about the club, what they expect to see, or how they want to see it going, or what they feel about empowering a girl child. It is specifically for girls, only girls. And we have platforms on which we shall be talking to them. We shall be reaching out to whatever questions they have and information as we share. That is, we have WhatsApp, Instagram, and Twitter. So once you finish filling the form, you are approved, and then you join the WhatsApp group. I'm going to share here, and then it will be easy for the girls to join. And whatever question one has, Uganda Gallup has the Instagram account. It is Uganda Gallup Club, Twitter, Uganda Gallup Club, Facebook, Uganda Gallup Club, and then WhatsApp, which is always easy for everyone and almost accessible by everyone. Any other question? I think any other question? So I'm going to invite our club mentor, honorable everyone on the meeting, briefly. I'm trying to see how I can connect to her. I think she just left the meeting, but once again, I'm going to call. I had said before that I was going to call upon the president, but I think some little change is going to be made since she already communicated in the beginning. We have with us our club's ambassador, Hannah Teresa, and I'm going to call upon her to give some remarks on the conversation we just had with our guests that were so wonderful. And then she will call upon the chief advisor and founder, Focus Youth Forum and Uganda Gallup Club, Mr. Bernard Kikar. Hannah Teresa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you so much, Praise, for this opportunity, and our founder and the whole initiative of Uganda Gallup Club. My name is Hannah Teresa, and I'm the club ambassador. I am grateful to God for having been part of this, this Zoom meeting, because I've been able to learn a lot, and I also expect you to have learned a lot about everything. Like our first speaker said, that at the end of it all, that you have to make sure that as you try to, commercialize everything and learn about all these, how you can repackage all these different resources to commercialize them and add value to everything, that at the end of it all, you should be able to add value to yourself. So that was like a question to ponder. Like, are you adding value on yourself in everything that you're doing? Then Mr. Cedric had a very interesting and life-changing, I can say, session. He, because many times in our lives we go through certain things that leave us broken, leave us, wondering what's next for our lives, what's next for me. You feel like a failure at that point. You feel like life has to come to an end at that point. But today we're able to learn that it's never, it's never the last time. It's never, it's never your get off point of life. It's never, it's life does not need to come to an end point at that time. All you need to think is, you need to think wide. You need to know what can I do for myself? What is my plan for my life? How do I get to connect to different people that can help me? And this all comes to your networking, because they say that your network is your net worth. What kind of people are you relating with at this age? Because as you keep growing, it's not all going to be about fun. It's not all going to be about, moving out and what. By the end of the day, are those people adding something into your life? Are they changing you somewhere, somehow? Are you improving yourself on what you're doing? And what's the plan for your life? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? What kind of lady do you envision yourself to be? Such questions we should always learn to ask ourselves, because you start thinking in a different perspective of life. You get to have, you start looking at things differently, learn things differently, learn to put in effort in the things that you do, that bit of excellence in everything that you do. So it was really amazing, and I've really learned a lot. I thank you all our speakers for today. Yeah. So I hope, ladies, you are also able to learn something from today, and you're not going to remain the same, like you came. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome our chief advisor, founder of Focus Youth Forum, that was able to, make way open for Uganda Gallup Club. That is Mr. Bernard K. Karamugumi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna, for the introduction, for the welcome. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you, and also to thank everyone who has really sacrificed his time or her time to attend this Zoom session. Actually, I'm sure, praise, you forgot something, that we also have Uganda Boys Up, which also attended, because right now we are trying to make sure that all sides are empowered. Yeah, secondly is that I would like to thank all the UGC members, Uganda Gallup Club members, for the dedication and for the seriousness that you have shown, that you are willing to learn. Because if you need to be empowered, then you must have a willingness to learn. Otherwise, you will always be there to complain. Secondly, I would also thirdly, I would like to thank Honorable Victoria Sechtereko, the mentor of the club, for her dedication too, because she has been with us on the club, on the WhatsApp group, and all the time she always endeavor to outsource the mentors whom she believes that once they talk to the club members, their life will change. And she has done it, and she's still doing it. And I was happy she had joined us, but I think she went out for some other commitments, but she has checked in. Then I would also, hello?
Excuse me,
Yes, please.
there is an echo.
There is a,
Yes, there is an echo and it's not sounding well.
okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what I was saying, I would like also to thank all the presenters, our guests, Mr. Nyanzi, Cedric, and Nicholas, for honoring our invitation, because normally a Saturday like this, you people, you're always busy, you're always committed, but to make sure that you have sacrificed this time from the beginning to the end, it is really a commendable job, and together we can really make a difference. Then lastly, I would like to thank NFT concerts. NFT concerts, that is where Nicholas comes from. On this note, I would like to inform the club members of UGC that Focus Youth Forum made an official memorandum of understanding or partnership to work together in line with mobility program, of which Nicholas was talking about. So all those who would want to benefit from the mobility program, either from Focus Youth Forum or from the club, we are there for you to make sure that we hand you over to Nicholas and the team so that you can receive economic independence. We are talking, today's theme is about economic independence, because most of us who have born after 1962 will always hear about independence, but at times you fail to interpret it. But to my understanding is that to be independent is to have a decision, or is to live a life that you desire. So if you are not financially independent, I don't think you are independent. Otherwise, you shall always be there to celebrate the National Independence Day, but when independence has never happened to you. So for us, our message, why we put this club in place, is to make sure that at the end of the day, you achieve financial independence. So all the problems that are affecting the young generation, especially the female, all emanates from economic independence, what we can call in summary poverty. Poverty is the root cause of all the challenges that are affecting us in the human life. So when you get an equation, let's say, and you subtract poverty, you always, whatever environment you are in, it will always be positive. So I thank NFT for this joining us and for giving us an opportunity so that the members of the club can tap opportunities from there. And we are ready to bring you more members, like as you have said, who can benefit in that program. Finally, they will be employed, because members of the club have been asking us, how best can we help them? I know there are those ones who might not be able to continue with the school, with the university, because here we have most vacists, we have university goers, and those ones who have already graduated, and those ones who never had a chance to go into the school. But I'm sure mobility can really take care of you. And the good thing is that the biggest percent, they need females. So that is a very strong point which I wanted to put across, because at the end of the day, every member needs an opportunity. So my final remarks, especially on this after this Zoom meeting, is to give back more information to the young girls or to the young ladies, because you know, we are in the era of empowerment, but young girls or ladies, for us, we have tried to come out to do our part. Also do your part. No one is going to find you in your house or in your bed and wake you up and say, please, you go and do this or that. Also, we must remember for those who are Christians that what Jesus told them, that what do you have? Then they said, we have this, we have that, and he added them. So when we as leaders come and bring these mentors in near you, you should be able to willingly to welcome them or to show them that you are willing to learn. I want those ones who are here to take the message to the rest, that you can, for us, we shall do our best. You also need to do your best if you want to be gender empowered. Otherwise, few will be empowered and you will be left behind, and you will be left in a world of complaining. Two is that be willing to be mentored. Most of the young ladies do not take the message of mentorship seriously. You need to be willing to be mentored. You need to be willing to, in mentorship, what does mentorship calls? It calls for commitment. If you are not willing to commit, if you are given an assignment to do it and you are not willing to do it, that means that you are not willing to be mentored, because mentorship begins with commitment. Secondly, reduce the level of excuses. I know that we are faced by very many challenges, but we still have very many excuses. And these excuses have made us to have a vulnerability mindset. You know, we are born poor. You know, I'm a student. You know, I don't have bundles. You know, all those ones, at the end of the day, they make you vulnerable and you are not going to grow. What I'm telling you is that if a platform like this is put for you, try to devise a means of being present, because it is you who's going to benefit. And when you benefit, it is your family, it is your community, and it is the country that you live in that will taste your fruits. As you know, the Bible says, we shall receive by their fruits. So, ladies, I know you, like, for example, in the club, we have over 1,000 members, but it is always unfortunate to see that after bringing these great mentors, these great speakers, they find people less than 50. It is something you ladies, you need to think about, because empowerment comes at a cost. You know, you should know that, because the world has changed and it is a world of competition. Like Nicholas has said, if you really need to be that person who MTN will pick, who NSSF will pick, who URA will pick, you must know that there are other more applicants amongst whom you are competing with. But how unique are you? And again, if an opportunity shows up, who will that person will think about, that there is this person who can do this? It is the retro things you see we are putting in place. Those are the kind of things that I wanted to put across, but we shall continue doing good things for you, and for those ones who are willing to learn, will learn and their life will change. And at the end of the day, when we are asked, what did you do? We shall say, we put this, and this one embraced it and is like this. This one had it and left it. You remember the parable of seeds, those ones which are planted on fertile soil, and those ones which are planted in rock, and those ones which are, you all know this. And this is what we are going through in life. COVID has come and has actually brought situations very, very difficult. What you need to do is that you need to wake up, you need to stand firm and be able to benefit in life. So within those few remarks, I'm calling upon all our partners, especially the guests of today, to partner with us. Let's be together. Let's not just present and go, but let's continue to be together. Even if you want us to add you into these platforms, we can add you. Then we can also, if you have, like, for example, Mr. Nyans has a very big institution. You can share the link where these girls can join. We have a link where they can fill their details and they are able to join their fellow girls. And also, Cedric, we need to do more in technology, and Nicholas as well. Otherwise, I wish you the best, and I wish you a happy Independence Day celebration as we put our country at heart, because we need to live in a patriotic heart of wishing the others good, and also working for the good of the benefit of our country and development. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best. Thank you so much, Patricia, for conducting and hosting this meeting today. I wish you the best.
Thank you so much, our Chief Advisor and founder, Focus Youth Forum and Uganda Girl Up Club, plus Uganda Boys Up. We are really grateful to always have you in our meetings. I think there is no single meeting you have missed, which is really grateful, which shows that you have space for the girls and you are willing to see them move. You are willing to push them higher and harder. We are really, really grateful. Once again, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank our guests for today. Thank you so much for setting your time apart. It cannot be taken for granted. It cannot, because we know you are busy people, but honoring our invitation is a grateful thing to us. We are really much pleasure to have had you here today. And the information you shared, we promise that it is going to reach the 1,000 girls you have heard about. Following the platforms we have, we are going to make sure this information reaches them. We cannot see them miss out on it, since it is this important. Before we close the meeting, we have Uganda Girl Up t-shirts. As you can see mine, I think I need to get the camera a little close. It is Uganda Girl Up Club t-shirts. And we urge each one of you to get yourself one t-shirt. This one is 20,000 and the colored t-shirt is 25,000. So we urge each one of you to have a t-shirt. So maybe when we start the meeting physically, or even on meetings, it would look good if we all turn on our videos and we are putting on the club's t-shirt. So I ask each one of you to please get yourself a t-shirt. And also, I want to ask you all, or urge you all, to let the girls out there know about Uganda Girl Up Club. Like I said, everyone here is an ambassador of Uganda Girl Up Club. We believe that the moment we tell you about the club and what the club is, it is the very first step for you to become the ambassador. Tell a girl some of you have daughters, basically Mr. Nyanzi, daughters, then the rest of you have sisters, you have your neighbors who are girls. You can tell them about Uganda Girl Up Club. And those with the brothers, the boys in the community, tell them about Uganda Boys Club. This is going to help them so much, because personally, I have benefited from this. I have discovered myself, because as Uganda Girl Up Club, majorly we are here to let a girl know her purpose in life. You can help, we might not bring it to your table, but we help you discover your vision, how you can chase it, how you can discover the potentiality in you and the rest of the people, and how you can help the community. So with all this, I want to thank everyone who has attended today. I am really happy that you did, that you set up aside your time, you invested your bundles, and you came to join Uganda Girl Up Club. And I am sure you're not just going to go like you came. At least something, you have grasped something that is going to help you out there in your daily life. We have heard about people's stories that were life-changing. So that is going to help everyone. Share this message with everyone out there. A lot of people have not joined this meeting, and they need this information. So let us take it upon ourselves to let the information reach out to these people. Thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for joining. Our invitations when we call upon you another time. Thank you so much. We love you all.